Hey CK-7, my name is Ashley Abell, and I am the production leader for camp this summer. And I am a junior at Western Kentucky University with a major in religious studies and a minor in computer information systems, which is really random, but I just want to graduate on time, so I'm just kind of doing that right now. And so I'm originally from Hodgenville, Kentucky, and so that's where I'm at right now. But to start off with my testimony, I'll go ahead and say that I didn't grow up in a Christian home. The first 7 years of my life I lived in California. My dad was in the Marines, so he retired when I was 7, but until I was 7 we lived in California, and we went to church I can only think of 2 times where we actually went to church. It was Easter and Christmas Eve one time. And so church was something I didn't know very much about until we moved to Kentucky, and my dad moved back here to be with his family, and so I started going to church with my aunt and uncle, and I just didn't know what church was about. And so I went with them, and I would go to church and I would go to Sunday school. And one summer I went to Vacation Bible School, and I just remember listening to the story about how Jesus come to die for our sins, and how we were sinful people, and how that Jesus came to die on the cross because God loved us so much that He sent His only Son. And I remember that the teacher was saying, if you ask Christ to forgive you for your sins, and He just washes your heart as white as snow. And I remember staying after class that day and talking to the teacher, and decided to become a Christian that night. And so I was 8 years old, and I guess I knew as much as an 8-year-old could at the time. And so kept going to that church for a while, and then my family kind of had a falling out with the church, and they were moving churches, and it was just a weird transition, and it was just kind of inconsistent. And so didn't really have a church for a while until I was in middle school, and I started going to church, and it was there where I went to Fuge as a 7th grader. The summer after my 7th grade year, we went to Fuge, and it was the first time our church had ever done that. And we went to Charleston, South Carolina, and that was the first time I'd ever seen just Christ move in that way, and see God's love in that way, through missions and something that was outside of church pews and hymnals. It was very different to me, and I knew that I wasn't living the life that I was supposed to be living. And so as a 7th grader, I rededicated my life and knew that it was not just a one-time decision, but that it was a relationship with Christ that I needed in my life, and that it just wasn't that one-time deal. And so through that, I just became more involved in the church and really tried to build that relationship. And I went through middle school, then went to high school, and just became a leader in my youth group and a leader in our FCA, and it started becoming really routine, and me going through the motions and things like that. And again, when I came to college, I think I just saw myself again going through those routines and going through the motions, and seeing that my relationship wasn't the way it needed to be with God. And so when I came to college, I think it was then that I really grasped the importance that this was the most important thing in my life, was my relationship with God, and how that's going to impact the rest of my life, and it is the most important thing to me. And so right now I'm currently a Bible study leader for Campus Crusade for Christ. I lead about 10 girls, 10 sophomore girls here at Western, and that's been really cool, and just being active in that ministry. And a Center Kids staffer. This is my 3rd year working camp, and this is my 1st year as a PL, so I'm really excited about that. I've served as a video producer the 2 previous years, but I'm just really excited about what God's going to do. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. And so let's see, some significant events or people. Let's see here. My first one would have to be camp in general, kind of like what Daniel said in his journey. I've gone to camp since I was in 7th grade, and it's God used that. He used, Fuge specifically, to just rocked my world and to show me his love in ways I hadn't seen before. And so I think just God used camp in a lot of ways when I was a student and as a camper. He really used that. And as a staffer, I think my eyes were open in different ways. For those that have worked camp before, just like Daniel said in his journey, like just that these kids can teach you more than sometimes you can teach them, that you get more out of it than they do sometimes. And I just have very specific moments in mind of like kids coming down after worship just wanting to know more about the gospel, and moments like that like really has opened my eyes to God's love and just faith in general, and has rocked my world in so many ways, just seeing it from a staffer's perspective. And it's really shaped who I am today, just camp in general. So that's a huge event in my life. A second event that's really shaped who I am today and has just really played a huge role in my life is something that's happened more recently. And about a year and a half ago, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, right around there, my parents got separated. And, you know, it was my parents, they're not believers, but I knew their marriage wasn't perfect, but I didn't think it would come to that. And so through that time, my dad just really wanted to work on things, and so my dad started going to church with me, and he started to pursue my mom in ways he never had before, and just really wanted to work things out. And it just wasn't working. And so as time went on, Christmas Day came, and it was made known that my mom was having an affair. And that was, it was Christmas morning, and it's just a day I'll never forget. It's just, I know it hasn't been that long ago, but just changed my world, changed my life forever, changed my family's life forever. So that was Christmas of 2009, and I haven't seen my mom since. My mom was seeing my dad's best friend, one of his best friends, and she lives in Washington State. And I mean, it's been 15 months since the incident, and it's just like been a very difficult time, and a very difficult time to transition. And I have a younger brother who's 16, and he's just struggled really hard with it as well. And it's just, there's been good days and there's been bad days, and there have been days when I've been really angry with God for it, because in a way I feel like I don't have a mom. But then there are days when I know that God is the only constant, and that I need to cling to Him, and that He does have a purpose for this, and that He's going to use it, and it's going to bring Him glory. But there are days when I just don't see that part, because I am sinful and I am human, and I do get angry about things like that. But it's just been a really tough process, just transitioning from that, because my parents have been together for 19 years, and now I don't see her at all. And so that's just really just been a huge event in my life, and it's happened pretty recently. A third, I guess, significant thing would be a relationship, I guess, that kind of links the two and plays a role in that. My best friend, her name is Katie, and she lives 600 miles away in Virginia, which is really hard sometimes. But the cool thing is I met her when I was a camper at Fuge the summer after my senior year of high school. And only with her for a week, okay? And this is like 3 years ago. And, you know, yeah, that was cool, and we had a lot in common, and it was really fun to hang out. And, like, we continued that relationship, you know, as much as we could, being that far away. But then I really think when the incident happened with my parents, that she really stepped up in a lot of ways, and I think God really did just send her my way, and she encouraged me, and she loved on me, and just was really there to lift me up when just I was a mess. And I don't know, just she did a lot for me. And so I'm very thankful for her, that someone you can meet at camp as being 18 years old who plays that role, that plays a significant role in my life 3 years later, just I'm very thankful for. And I don't know if that event with my parents hadn't happened, if I would be as close to her as I am now. But I know that God does have divine appointments, and that I was supposed to meet her there for a reason. And I will say that she is a person that cares more about my relationship with the Lord than she cares about my relationship with her. And I think that's really hard to come by. And sometimes I get frustrated and things like that, but she always points me back to God. And like I said, she cares more about my relationship with him than she cares about my relationship with her. And I think that says a lot about her character. And so those are the 3 events, I guess, that really have made me who I am today and shaped the person I am. So let's see here. One thing that you should know about me. Well, I really like to take pictures and video, and I just got a brand new camera and I'm using it right now to film this because I just need to get some use out of it. But I really want to do like wedding photography and wedding videography and cinematography, all that junk. I really want to do that. I feel like that's where my calling's at. And I just shot my first wedding this past weekend, and I'm starting to book engagements and other family pictures and things like that. So I'm really liking the way that's going right now. And so I'm sure this summer, even though I'm not the video producer, I'm sure I'll be taking a bunch of pictures and video of you guys, and because it's what I love, it's my passion, and that's what I love to do. But I'm really excited about the summer, and I've been praying for you guys, and I've been praying for our locations and for the kids that we're going to come in contact with. And I'm just really looking forward to just building relationships with you and just spending time with you guys this summer. And for those of you that I've worked with before, I'm really excited to serve with you again. And for those who I haven't even met yet, I'm really excited to meet you, and I'm praying for you by name.